Legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters. Multiple award-winning Obapa Christie. Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK. Reverend Graceman. And many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities at the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poco Trading Supermarket, Abebio Express, Dodge Fashion, Kumasi Mall. For ticket reservations, call 0242-828058. This event is brought to you by Global Expert Recovery Limited. Come and let's give thanks to the Most High, for He alone is worthy of our praise. The National Gospel Music Awards, rewarding excellence. Hallelujah! All praise to the Most High. The third edition of the National Gospel Music Awards is here. The praise edition. Come as believers, let's give thanks to the Almighty for a new year as we celebrate artists who deserve to be honored on the night. The night will be electrified with performances from legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters. Multiple award-winning Obapa Christie. Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK. Reverend Graceman. And many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities at the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poco Trading Supermarket, Abebio Express, Dodge Fashion, Kumasi Mall. For ticket reservations, call 0242-828058. This event is brought to you by Global Expert Recovery Limited.
Welcome to 99.5 Love FM.
Well, 24 minutes past 7. That's what time it is here on Love 99.5. It's a Friday morning, and we're glad that you tuned in. Now, before the year began, I was in a conversation with some friends of mine, and one of the things they said was that, listen, it's an election year, so we should expect more strike actions from many people out there. So when I heard that Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthesists were thinking of embarking on a strike action, it didn't really come to me much as a surprise. But what surprised me a little about their strike action had to do with the fact that they were embarking on a strike because of change of name. So what is really the big deal about this change of name? They are here, they'll be explaining it all to us. And again, we hear that they have called off, suspended, cancelled, and I can see the president shake his head vigorously in the studios of Love 99.5. So we're here to have that very conversation. Now, but as it stands now, I don't know if you know of somebody who was due for surgery, or you yourself was due for surgery. How has the strike action affected you? Let's talk about it, because along the line we picked up information that hospitals or facilities like Maisha Hospital and of course Kumasi South Hospital had to refer cases to Kofa Noche Teaching Hospital. So I have with me in the studios of Love 99.5 Mr. James Nwisagra. Yeah, is that the name? Yes, Nwisagra. And he's the president of the Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthesists. Good morning to you.
Good morning, David.
And you were shaking your head vigorously when I said that you had called off or suspended your strike action. I would ask you in a bit why it is so. But also with us in the studios of Love 99.5 is David Menta. He's a PRO for the Ashanti region. Hi, David. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have a big fight after this.
I know.
We have a big fight, and we will have that fight after the show. But so, what exactly have you decided on right now? Because in one breath we hear you've called off the strike, in one breath we hear that you've cancelled the strike, in one breath we hear that you've suspended the strike. What actually have you decided to do?
Thank you very much, David, and good morning to listeners. We have not called off the strike. I want to put it on record. We have suspended it. It is not we have cancelled it, we have suspended it. After 2 weeks, we can always trigger the process again and we can go on strike.
So what do you mean by 2 weeks? I know that you had a meeting with stakeholders in Accra on Wednesday. What came out after your deliberations? What happened?
Thank you. We had a stakeholders meeting. It was quite extensive. That spent the whole day. The details of the meeting cannot be put out there because it will amount to the breach of trust among stakeholders. But based on what we have agreed, and the good faith shown by stakeholders, we have decided to suspend the strike. We are also mindful of the Labour Act 651 2003, because when you are negotiating, you cannot continue to be on strike. That is why we have suspended it. After the boardroom roadmap, if it does not work, we'll go back and trigger the process of the strike again.
So from what you have said so far, you have not called off the strike. All you have done is you have suspended the strike.
Yes.
Because upon meeting with stakeholders, what you have agreed upon is the fact that they are going to work on some angles, and so you were given some 2 weeks. Now, I respect the fact that you cannot put out there all the things that transpired in the meeting, but what are some of the things that happened that you say was satisfactory to you, well enough for you to say that you're suspending the strike action? Share a few with us.
Yes, the agreement that the concerns raised on the table have been considered. And if they are being considered, it means that they are working around them to have the issues resolved. So, based on that, we think that it would be more appropriate to suspend it, still giving an eye to whatever it is. Let me see. Not that we don't trust the people, but if you have all been confronted with certain situations and when you are sleeping, you are not very sure, so you sleep with one eye closed and another one open.
David, are you also satisfied with the outcome of the meeting that transpired or took place in Accra on Wednesday? Are you satisfied with what transpired there?
No.
You're not satisfied?
Yes, I am not.
What do you mean by you're not satisfied? Because if you were not satisfied, you would not agree to give a space of 2 weeks to see what comes out of it. At least some satisfaction ought to have come your way.
Yeah, just like my national president said, to respect the labor law, we have to agree.
To respect the labor law,
yes,
you just had to agree.
Yes.
Do you trust the stakeholders you met with?
I would say 70% per the agreement and then per the interaction they had with the national executives. We'll give them 70% of that trust.
And for 30% you don't trust them?
Yes.
So what are your because
we've had this issue coming back and forth. A similar negotiations went on last year, and we were supposed to have this issue solved once and for all. And then there was a no-show, and it brought us to where we are today.
Where is the problem coming from?
The problem is coming from the Medical and Dental Council not abiding by the Act of Parliament to maintain our name as certified registered anesthetists. They are bent on changing the name to physician assistants, which we are opposing because it's an act of Parliament. And we know when there's an act of Parliament, everybody is obliged to respect the Act of Parliament. In their register, they were still using the name physician assistants. We had to draw their attention before they changed it. Now, they want to harmonize the curriculum for our schools. And they are using a backdoor approach. Because if they are to succeed in changing the curriculum, all the people who pass out after training will now have BSc Physician Assistant Anesthesia instead of BSc Anesthesia.
Now, you talk about an act of Parliament, and the question I would like now to ask and address you, the President, is the Medical and Dental Council, don't they have a copy of this from Parliament?
David, they have been addressed to, they have a copy of the Act of Parliament, simply referring to Act 857, which spells out that any other person other than the physician is called certified registered anesthetist. But you know, people just think that they're above the law and they are defiant. This issue has taken us to National Labour Commission, and we have gone through it since 2015. And the National Labour Commission and the court ruled that is the Act of Parliament, is a law. Nobody is above the law, and you have to abide by the law.
Why are they finding it difficult to just accept what the Act says?
Very difficult. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to conjecture anything.
But I'm sure you might have had conversations and interactions with them. What are they saying to you?
I am not too sure why they don't want to accept it, but I just have the suspicion that maybe they're doing the bidding of somebody else, or they have their own parochial interest. Otherwise, you and I sitting here, I can't fathom the reason why an act of parliament cannot simply be followed.
Why is this name change so much of a big deal to you? Why is it so important to you? Tell us about it.
People look at it that they want to trivialize the issue, that what has they got to do? It's not because we are asking for money. The thing is, if you are called assistant, what simply means is that somebody is doing the work and you are now assisting a fellow. And when you put it into the system in terms of remunerations, it means that it will limit your scope of bargaining, and it will also limit your scope of practice. So if somebody is there and is doing the work and I'm the one assisting, it means that I don't have the power, I don't have the authority even to go and bargain. It means that somebody has to speak for me, somebody has to bargain for me. In Ghana, who does the work of anesthetist and I assist? If you go to Bolgatanga, if you go to Jirapa, if you go to Tumu, should I say in Cape Coast, Volta region, he's the anesthetist who is there. Why do you want to attach assistant to my name and want to cripple me?
Don't you work under doctor anesthetists?
We are different groups of people, but we all practice the same thing.
No, but don't they supervise your work somewhere?
Certainly no.
They don't.
True.
The doctors anesthetists don't supervise.
I heard people making those remarks. Why am I working and somebody supervising me? In Bolgatanga, how many anesthetists are there and the doctors are supervising them? When we are talking about supervision, it means that standing there and watching what the person is doing. If you think you are still in Kolebu and you are supervising somebody in Jirapa, how is it feasible, David? Somebody sitting somewhere cannot supervise another person absentia. For example, if I take the needle or I draw the drug, how will you know whether I've drawn the wrong drug or the right drug?
Because maybe he would write it, on a sheet
and post it from Bolgatanga.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, let's say, for example, Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. Well, because we have doctor anesthetists, don't we have?
Yes, we have.
What is their role? What do they do?
They administer anesthesia.
They do what?
They administer anesthesia.
What do you guys also do?
Administer anesthesia.
And who has the upper hand between the two?
I don't think so. We shouldn't be talking about upper hand.
I just want to know.
Yes.
That's why I was asking earlier who works under who supervises who. So between the two of you, who's senior?
The seniority does not matter here.
No, but who's senior? Fine, it doesn't matter. But tell me who the senior is.
We are not competing with anybody. We have our work, and in our line of chain of command, we have our seniors, and the doctors' chain of command, they have their seniors. We work as a team. They have their seniors and we have our seniors.
But isn't their training, and David, let me address you with this one, isn't their training more advanced, let's say, than yours?
No.
Their training is more
it's the same. Let me explain one thing. Anesthesia is anesthesia. Okay. The drugs we use are the same. The procedures are the same. Everything is the same. There's nothing like somebody with a different hands giving anesthesia yielding a different effect. It's emphatically no. We use the same curriculum. I repeat, it's the same training, the same procedures, the same drugs. Anesthesia that was being practiced in 1970s is the same anesthesia. When it comes to the types of anesthesia, we have general and then regional. General anesthesia, as far as I am concerned, as I sit with you here, David, today, has not changed. Regional anesthesia has not changed. So, what is the difference? If we are doing the same work, you are in your line, I am in my line, what is the difference? In any case, let me chip in this. We have 897 certified registered anesthetists in Ghana, as against 71 doctor anesthetists. You can go and then check the records. And out of the over 300 facilities in Ghana, David, let me ask you, can these 71 work in all these hospitals? And I'm going to give you the locations of the doctor anesthetists in Ghana. Konfanoche, Kolebu, Lekma, Takoradi, they have one. Tamale, they have one. Cape Coast Teaching Hospital 2 has one. Konfanoche has 28. Kolebu has 36. In Konfanoche, you have over 60 CRAs. Now, all the mission hospitals in Ghana, they are about 183. In all these mission hospitals, the ones that they perform surgeries, not even one CHAC facility has an anesthesiologist. it is the CREs who work there.
Okay, so you say both of you do the same work. That's
Yes.
the doctor anesthetist and yourself.
Yeah.
At what point in time do they, the doctors, administer anesthesia?
In where I work, I don't see a doctor there. So I don't.
So where you guys are not present, a doctor who's been trained can do it. That's what you're
Yes,
saying.
that's it.
Okay. Now let's now take a look at what pertains outside the country. I'm sure that people also in other countries definitely they also administer anesthesia to patients who are about to go on surgery and all that. What is the situation like there? Is it different from what we're practicing here? I mean, in terms of where you guys fall under.
Maybe the situation is similar, and across the globe, and everywhere, even in our continent, in Africa here. If I take you to the UK, we have the doctor anesthetists who do their work and they are called anesthetists.
Okay.
And when we go to US, they have the doctor anesthetists who do their work and they call them anesthesiologists. If you come to Africa, it's all over. In East Africa, they call them clinical officers or anesthesia practitioners or whatever they were. But we have doctor anesthetists happening there. Each and everyone have their body, they do their work the same, they collaborate. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what collaboration is everywhere, because in the hospital settings it's teamwork and everybody's role is important. If you need the cleaner, the one doing the instruments, the surgeon, whoever the nurse, they are all contributing towards one particular goal. So for somebody to seek to undermine another person, I think that's not fair.
Well, one body that I think has suffered a lot, I stand to be corrected though, is you guys, these anesthetists, because initially per my checks I realized that they didn't even know where to place you. They place you as anesthetist, nurses something. Later they place you under the nurses something. Later they moved you to they've been moving you around. Is that to suggest that, well, first of all, we don't know what you stand for, which umbrella you fall under? Is that what the challenge and the problem is? Yeah, you want to speak? Well, what's your name, by the way? Speak into the microphone for me. What's your name?
Abigail.
You're Abigail?
Yes.
And you're also a trained anesthetist, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you want to address this question. Please, let me hear you.
In anesthesia, the difference is the entry points. Like David rightly said, you enter as a nurse or as a doctor. And in our case, we entered as nurses. That is after our nursing training. That is where we went to do anesthesia. And so when you enter as a nurse, we belong to an international body called IFNA.
Called what?
IFNA.
IFNA. Okay.
That is International Federation of Nurse Anesthetists.
Okay.
And ideally,
So you're still nurses anyway?
we are nurse anesthetists. You understand?
So what is the big deal? Why are you challenging?
We are not challenging anybody. That is a mistake. We are not in competition with anybody. We are not challenging anybody. I am a nurse, I went to do anesthesia. You are a doctor, you went to do anesthesia. Unfortunately for them, the curriculum is the same.
Unfortunately for who? The doctors?
Those who are in competition, because until recently, I didn't know we were fighting with GAS, and that is the Ghana Anesthesiologists Society. When we embarked on strike, they are the people who are speaking now for the MDC, who we have
The
an
Medical and
issue.
Dental Council.
Yes.
Okay.
Who we have an issue with, and from their statements that they released, they are the people who, like, we should not be called certified registered anesthetists, and we don't know what their problem is.
You don't want to be called assistants as well?
Because we are not assistant, and when you add the assistant to our name, it costs us a lot.
In what way does it cost you?
Like my president said, if you can't go and bargain because you are assisting somebody, and when you go for salary negotiations, you have a boss, and so you don't have a mouth. Your boss has to speak for you, and unfortunately they belong to GMA, and GMA does their bargaining for them. So
Who belongs to GMA?
the Ghana Anesthesiologists Society.
Okay, which of course includes the doctors.
Those are the doctors.
Doctors, yeah.
You understand? And then because I have an assistant attached to my name, there's a quota you cannot cross on the salary structure.
So that is what the fight is about.
That is what the fight is. Don't say I am an assistant when I'm not assisting anybody.
But again, like I was saying, David, I didn't get an answer. And if the president would help.
Yes.
So it looks as if over the past years, placing you and that particular umbrella has been a difficulty because you've kept moving from one to the other. Why has it not been so?
Thank you very much. Let me take you back to history, how the whole issue started. Maybe the listeners will appreciate it.
Including myself.
Yes. Until 2011, the certified registered anesthetists were not regulated by anybody.
Until 2011?
2011.
We're not regulated by anybody?
No.
Okay.
If anybody has said it, it means the person doesn't know.
Okay.
It's just because his person is ignorant. From that particular time, and we cannot be left in the system in the interest of David, you and I, because the public and your activities. Simply at that time, if something went wrong, they'll simply bring you back and then say you should retrain and go back. What about the ethical issues surrounding your practice? So for that matter, you have to be regulated by a particular body. Looking at it at that time, it was difficult because I happened to be at the place to present our case. The nurses indicated, the Nursing Midwives Council indicated, after nursing they want to do anesthesia. We don't have any knowledge about anesthesia, so it will be difficult. You regulate what you know, and you cannot regulate what you don't know. The pharmacy council, they say they will use their drugs, but what the anesthesia goes beyond using the drugs. The physiology and anatomy is different. Then out of that, we were forced to go under American Dental Council. American Dental Council in 2011 decided everybody must go under registration. So out of convenience, they decided to add the name physician assistant because they want to create a common register for the medical assistants, and for them they also give us a physician assistant in the community oral health. You see, in a haste in trying to solve a problem, you don't anticipate the challenges ahead. So everybody went through as I sit here. Sometimes they use my name PA and add whatever it is. When we were going to Ghana Universal Salary Structure, a consultant was brought in and we're going to make a case, and when the outcome of the work came, all of us were added to any assistant you find in the health system. It means that I cannot go below a certain cap.
Like Abigail was saying.
Yes, it means that assistants attached to my name, and for them I cannot go. It took us a very long time for us to fight this over, and then we moved from Ghana Universal Salary Structure to health salary structure. The history repeated itself. And as going into the single spine, it happened again. We said no, we cannot continue like that. At least we have to move ahead. So we made a petition in 2012 to Parliament when they were looking at the health professional regulatory bill at the constitution stage. They looked at it, we presented the names, the issue, they looked at it in Parliament, and that happened to be there. And they said, yes, you have a case. For that matter, let's look at it. They went around the whole globe. Like I said, there's no specific name. For example, if you finish medicine and go to specialize in surgery in United Kingdom, you are called Mr. If you finish medicine and you go to practice anesthesia or go to study anesthesia, special anesthesia, you are called anesthetist. So we went round. There were 5 names that came, but the Parliament, out of its wisdom, decided to give certified registered anesthetist. David, the thing came, it was published, gazetted, and then the act came out. American Dental Council said no. Maybe I appreciate the fact that Abigail is bringing gas into the matter. When the matter came, the gas said no, they cannot accept any other person using certified registered anesthetists. How would they be called? So they wrote to Attorney General. Attorney General said no, it's the law. You have to, whether you like or not,
abide by.
Yes, we have to abide by the law. They were not satisfied. They wrote to,
that is gas.
Yes.
Okay.
They wrote to the International Federation, and they came back and told them every country and their laws. We cannot sit somewhere and come and determine what happens in Ghana. And however, the Ghana, they have reasons for giving that. You have to abide by the law.
What's the relationship like between yourself and gas?
I personally don't have a problem with that.
So you work?
I work.
You work in facilities?
Yes.
Sometimes, what is the relationship like? Because
we don't have, how we look at it, between us in the common facility, we don't have a problem. We interact, we share ideas. When something we are not too sure about, like I have to ask you, what do you think about this? We share ideas, and at the end of the day, we go together.
Are they supporting, your strike action?
Certainly no. I'll put in authority. Certainly big no, because I watched somebody and I heard somebody who was making some remarks. That I think that the person who claimed to be the secretary of the past secretary, yes, okay, saying that we are trained with the word substandard and we're supposed to work in the rural hospital. I look at it, I said, I'm not sure whether this person is a Ghanaian or works in Ghana. He's in Kolebu, I suppose. David, you and I, whether we like or not, we are from the village. That the villager deserved the what do you call it? The substandard practice. Certainly no. He has forgotten that I work at Confirmation Teaching Hospital and I'm the head of anesthesia, obstetrics and gynecology department. I'm here to challenge my employer whether I'm not up to the task. Or the person making the remark is geographically disoriented, and Kumasi maybe is also another rural community.
We need to make headway. So let me ask this question: the meeting that was held on Wednesday, you were there?
Yes.
As president?
Yes.
Was the MDC represented, the Medical and Dental Council?
No.
Why were they not there? Because don't they have a stake in this whole thing?
They have a stake in this whole thing.
Why were they not there?
We have met on few occasions, and it was a fight up and down. You see, sometimes Medical and Dental Council is not honest.
It was a what?
It was something like a confrontation.
Confrontation between yourself
and the Medical and Dental Council. Yes.
So how do you resolve this problem without your presence? Because it is there, for example, like you mentioned, I go around to work on the curriculum to be changed and all that.
We all fall under the Ministry of Health. We all belong to Ministry of Health. You see, the Ministry of Health has a bigger say because you cannot allow the illegality to continue. That is simple.
I understand. But in this meeting that was held on Wednesday, don't you think they should have been present?
I don't think they should have been present because we wrote to the Ministry of Health to bring them to book. Simply asking them that attempt and trying to introduce that curriculum for them to change the name to physician assistant was illegal. They should simply withdraw it.
Have they been communicated to?
Yes. According to the ministry, I have communicated to them.
The MDC. When was the communication done?
I'm not too sure when it was done, but for in totality, I can say that the ministry indicated they have been confronted, they have been communicated to.
So, David, tell me this: would you say that the strike was the best option you had? Because if it's backed by an act of parliament and the Medical and Dental Council is doing otherwise, why wouldn't you rather go to court whilst you work? Should Ghanaians suffer because you think that your name is being changed and some curriculum in your schools are being changed? Should a Ghanaian suffer?
Thank you, David. It's a big question, tough question, but I'll answer. Ghanaians should not suffer. But you see, when you are kept at a corner where you see a very dark future, you have no option than to scream and then make sure you get the necessary help.
You could have gone to the court to scream there.
No.
You could still have continued meeting with the labor minister and all that.
No.
How do you feel?
Because this thing did not start just yesterday. It has been happening consistently right from the time the Act of Parliament was passed. Remember, my boss said after the meeting, the Medical and Dental Council from that time decided to boycott the Act of Parliament and then go to the International Federation to seek for explanations. We are not fighting with gas. All we want is an identity. People should know who we are. People should appreciate what we do.
Obviously, the gas sees you. They see themselves as superior than you.
And where do they work? They should show the whole nation.
They see themselves as superior as you.
Very good. And that is why doctors.
Which of course they are.
Because they are doctors.
Yes, they are doctors.
Are you superior to everybody because they are a doctor?
It depends on where you find yourself and what is happening there. But again, so you've suspended your strike action.
Yes.
Is that to suggest that you are back to work starting today?
Yes.
Are your members at work? Are they back at work?
Thank you very much. I think this is an opportunity for us to draw the attention of our members that based on what has actually transpired, we want to appeal to them to return to work while we follow the roadmap, and then after 2 weeks we will notify them the next line of action to go. Let me add something to this.
Have you released any statement?
Yes, we have released a press statement.
Is it out?
Yes, it's out now.
When did it come out?
I think yesterday in the evening.
Okay. All right.
David, we considered dragging the matter to court. I think when it comes to the labor front, the court is the National Labour Commission. In 2015, we took the matter to the National Labour Commission, and they ruled and instructed them to abide by that. This matter has gone back to Parliament, and Parliament has instructed. It's an act of Parliament. You have to, whether you like or not. You don't have any reason to back out. You have to abide by that. And why would they not? Why would they refuse an act of Parliament? You and us sitting here in Ghana, there's nobody above the law in Ghana.
0322083596. That's the line to the studios of Love 99.5. 0322083596. You've heard them, and they belong to the Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthetists, and they're saying that, well, along the line their names wanted to be changed. They fought it. Now somebody is trying to change their curriculum, which of course they don't want to agree or accept because it will affect them in many ways. They have embarked on a strike action which began on the 31st of January, but as we speak now, they say they have not called off the strike, or rather they have suspended the strike action. What do you want to say about all this? Let's hear from you. 0322083596. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning, David.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Richard, and I'm calling from Patase.
Richard, let's hear you, sir.
In the health sector as well. You know, David, sometimes when you're in the workplace and people see themselves as superior than what you do. Let me use the secretary for the GMA as an example. He's a lawyer, right? Does that mean he's more qualified than someone who went through, say, social sciences and became a lawyer simply because you're a doctor? Not the case, right? When you come to the field, this time around, the doctors see themselves as more superior, right, than the ordinary worker. Let me use the eye field as an example. You know, Ken Winston and UCC are training doctors of optometry, right? They are also called doctors. But go to the field and see. You see a lot of them being undermined. What they can do, most of them are sitting in their houses, even not having posted to the rural areas to work after school. This is the reason, because there are so-called people who see themselves as superior and they want to control them, right? So it's not with this group alone. It cuts across. It's high time the GMA, the Medical Dental Council should see that each person is doing something to help the health sector. I agree with them perfectly. They should get the identification and work towards their goals.
Well, thank you very much, Richard there. And Political Thinker is on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Please, how's everybody?
Well, everybody here is fine.
Oh, wow. We thank the Creator. From where I'm sitting, I can say, this litigation between the two groups are lack of initiation, because if each other can initiate him or herself well, or the other this thing, I think they can resolve this thing easily. Because how can you want to change the name of somebody or this thing while the person is not agreeing? Like, how can this become a brouhaha? This can be easily resolved without coming to the air. But because of people parochial interests, like Ghana, it has become part of us. So every little thing becomes a brouhaha. There are a lot of things to even deal with. But because people are holding office that they have inherited it nepotically.
Come on, Charlie. So let me move on now. Let me move on now and speak to JM. JM, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your thoughts on the issue, sir?
Okay, I would like them to concentrate on rather than superiority. It won't help. As health providers, they should know this one. They should know it. It will lead to incompetency in the healthcare. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was JM there. Samuel, good morning.
Good morning.
Samuel, please go ahead. Let's hear your thoughts on the issue.
All right. I'm Samuel calling from Agogo Presbyterian Hospital.
Okay.
A certified registered anesthetist.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, it's so sad. And I would like to commend my executives for the good move. Because take my facility, for example, Agogo Presbyterian Hospital, the oldest mission hospital in Ghana, and we are second to Konfanochi in Ashanti. And I must tell you, they as physician anesthetists know the kind of job we do here. Annually, we do over 4,000 cases. ranging from obstetrics and gynecology, surgery, ophthalmology, orthopedics, you name it. There is no physician anesthetist here. There are 5 of us CRAs. We do everything. We go to the emergency sections to do intravenous cannulations, difficult ones, of course. We do central lines. We do CPRs. We even train staff on advanced basic cardiac life support. So we virtually do everything.
You do everything, and that is why you are in support of the actions by your leadership. And let's hope and pray that within 2 weeks, some positive news will come our way. So you call off entirely the strike and not necessarily suspend the strike. Salif Isahaku, good morning.
Good morning, my boss. Thanks for the program. My boss, I don't have much knowledge about their profession, but listening to the interview, I'd like to find out that the doctors who are anesthetists and the nurses, are they one, or it is the doctors who are underground doing this thing, just for them to get the differences? Because we know doctors are senior to nurses, or is different organizations altogether who are trying to I don't even know the word.
I hear, but we understand the question that you're asking.
I would like to plead with them that they shouldn't let the patients to suffer with the change of name. We are pleading with them that they should consider people's life, other than that people will be dying and it wouldn't speak good of them.
Well, thank you very much, Salif. I asked that question earlier, the relationship between themselves and the gas group and stuff like that. And but the other one is whether they are underground pulling strings. I wouldn't want to go there because that would be speculation, and I wouldn't want to deal with speculation this very morning. Nana Kweku, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. I hope you're well.
I'm doing good. My brother, you see, much as they want support from the general public, in fact, I'm always people that decide to fight for their rights. But if you want the support of the public, your agitation should be something that can hold water. Come to the teaching field. We have principal superintendents, we have superintendents, directors, assistant directors. If teachers should go on strike that, look, I want these clarifications done for us, it will be chaos. Doctors, I believe they also have their ranks. This change of name thing could easily be solved in the boardroom. Rather than coming out because it's an election year, you want to make noise. But please, you will not gain the support. And I'm praying, you see, I quite remember there was a friend of mine who is a doctor, in fact, a mate of mine. He is a doctor. They went on strike. He was there, a favorite uncle of his were taken to the hospital. And then once they were on strike, the uncle died. I don't want such things to happen to any of you. But please, there are people at the hospital that need attendance. When you being on radio right now, yes, you're fighting, you're agitating for your rights, but please go to the podium and solve things there. And please have some small sympathy for people. Please, that's all that I have to say.
Thank you very much, Nana Kweku. Let's go to Professor Ohinedu. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Dave.
Yes, Prof. I'm very well, Prof. Thanks for asking, sir.
Yeah, I just want to know from your next question. Is it the designation they are worried about, or it's affected their remuneration? Is it the use of the word assistant which is worrying them, or what?
That is the main thing, because according to them, it affects almost everything. Their bargaining power and everything. It affects everything.
I don't know. I just wanted to find out.
Yes, sir.
But it hasn't affected their remuneration, I guess.
Yes, they say yes. That's what they're saying. So very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof, for the contribution. Christophe, Adult Education, Patasa Blockhouse, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. I hope you are fine.
I'm very well. Thanks for asking.
Dave, this year is my 14th year of adult education. So
Chris, let's go straight to the point, please.
Yes. Dave, we are begging them. They have a reason for whatever they are doing now, but they should know that human life is so important. I know in medicine, because I'm doing transfer of pain, okay, so to feel the pain of their patient. In fact, they play a very cardinal role as far as medicine is concerned, because, you know, anesthesia, operations and surgeries, they put the people into shape, give them injections before they are being worked on. So whilst they judge all with the labor commission, they should go back to the hospital, they should work on the people, and we are praying for them that God will help them, God will strengthen them, and I know that their concerns will be addressed. And whatever they are looking for, inshallah, they will get it. So
well, thank you very much, Christoph.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Christoph. And they say they've suspended the strike action and they expect their members to go back to work. Sani, good morning. Sahine, good morning.
Good morning. I hope all is well.
All is well by grace.
Okay, David, I want to ask them, okay, right now, we have done what they are seeking for. What else?
Not fully. They are saying that they've been given assurances that they're going to meet with other stakeholders for conversation, and that 2 weeks' time they will give them some results. So what they're saying is that if within the 2 weeks things don't change, what they're going to do is they're going to go back to strike.
What I'm trying to ask them is, okay, let's say the 2 weeks has come, and they have done what they were seeking for. What next?
Oh, then they will not strike. Then that's all. Then they're okay.
Does it make them superhumans? That's why someone would say, teachers. If we have to talk of this, even we teachers, we have to go on strike too, because they've eliminated us too. You see, the fact that you are doing what you have been called to do, just do it. Not if you're coming on air day and so on.
Sahine, thank you very much. Almost say when you were born, that's what you're saying. Let's speak to Ishak. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Ishak, I'm told that you are the final caller, so please go ahead.
All right. I just want to say that I share their pain in as much as our patients over there are also suffering. But I just want to say that the manner we train people in this problem is in education, it's in the health sector, it's even between the pharmacists and the dispensary technologists. It's all over. What it means is that we don't really have people who are sitting to think for this country, who are sitting in to direct affairs. And so there's always this kind of conflict within the workplace. Somebody who has gone to nursing training 3 years, he has come out, he has retrained as anesthetist, he has done it for 2-3 years. And somebody who has gone to medical school 6 years has specialized in anesthesia. Why do you put the two? Somebody has done 6 years as a medical student, somebody has done a nursing, and so you see, we don't really have people who are sitting to direct how things must be. I think going forward, we must have people who are thinking through and are working for this country so that some of these things will be streamlined.
Thank you very much, Ishak, for your contribution on the program. We can't pick any more calls. Please bear with us. But a few comments on Facebook. Frank Amenin Dakun says, why do the medical officers want to take control of every sector of the health services? They wanted to do the same thing to the medical laboratory. Some of them wanted to do 2 years medical lab and come take control of the lab. Now, I will advise that they stay focused and stop infiltrating other sectors. And Bal Ingwa says all NMC is interested in is collecting CRA's money. Well, I don't know about that one. Let me just pause there. And this one says this is not about teachers. If they want to be heard as teachers, they can also make their own noises. Well, let's bring to you some of your voice notes as to what you're also saying regarding this very conversation.
Good morning, Dave. My name is Daniel. I think the anesthetist people are not being fair to us, the citizens of Ghana. They can't just go on strike because of name change and the pressure that is at Konfanochi right now. And when you go to Konfanochi and then you see the queue, people in line waiting to be operated is very bad. And one thing is that these things are having a very big toll on the nurses. Yesterday when I went there, you could see the faces on the nurses. They were all just stressed out. Please, they should just do something about it.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I think that's what they wanted. The fact that there will be queues and people will be struggling, and so therefore we come and beg them. I don't know whether he says yes. And on Sunday you go to church. Sunday you go to church and you go and pray and say, "Oh, Lord, listen to." Well, more voice notes to our listeners out there.
Good morning, David. Thank you very much. What I want to say is that doctors are cheats. They cheat other health personnel in the house.
Okay, so we apologize for that. I cannot speak to that very well. What do you mean by doctors are cheats? Listen, that's why I said that this is radio. You will give you the opportunity to speak, but when we want to speak, let's speak to facts. I don't know about doctors being cheats, and I apologize for that very one. But let's speak to the issues. All right. Happy birthday message here, Walter Welbeck Opoku Williams. You turn 9 years old today. This one is a message from your dad, wishing you the blessings of from the Lord God Almighty, and so enjoy the day. It's from Kwame as well as Rebecca Opoku Williams. So happy birthday to you, Walter Welbeck Opoku Williams. Let's wrap up our conversation. Let me give the final words to you. You are the president of the association, and so let's hear from you. What would you want to leave us with?
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to make some few points before I wrap up. We are equally worried about the strike action, but it's like they push you to the wall and you have no option than to respond. This issue has lingered on for a very long time now, from 2013, 2015, 2019, even the last end of the year we have been on it. I don't want to link it to election year. Certainly all these years don't belong to election years. You see, strike actions, where we stand now, we are conscious about the effects. Whether you like or not, David, your vision will be affected. I will equally be affected, and any of us, your relative somewhere along the line will be affected. But should I continue to sit on the quiet when I'm being robbed every day? It's like you are throwing the blames in our corner. At the point, I have to respond, and that is what the Ministry of Health, I want to put the blame on it. After numerous petitions, and they didn't turn out to yield anything. That is why. It's true, our designation is important. That is what the final see. That's what determines what I am and what I take home.
Thank you very much for your time. Forgive me, time is not really on our side. We need to move on. So thank you very much, Mr. James Imisagra, President of the Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthetists. Thank you very much, Abigail, for passing through. Abigail says she's a bit surprised that their leadership went to Accra and brought back 2 weeks.
I'm not having it easy.
Yeah, I'm the regional.
You are the regional what? Chair. You are not satisfied. In 30 seconds, why are you not satisfied? You were thinking that the strike action will prolong?
A bit.
Why do you say a bit? If you have gone into a meeting and you've come to some consensus, you suspend, hoping that some good news will come your way. Why would you say that they went to Accra and they came back with 2 weeks that you're not satisfied with?
Because we've seen that before. It happened last year. They came back, we suspended or we called off the strike, that there had been an MOU, and up till now.
Let's hope and pray that this 2 weeks will be a different 2 weeks. Thank you very much, Abigail, for your time. As well as you, David Minta, who is the PRO for the Ashanti region. We're grateful. Now, this is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Love in the Morning. We've got more coming up your way. Stay with us.
Love Affair. Date is Friday, 14th February, 7 p.m. prompt at the all-new Ratri Park poolside. 80 cities single, 150 cities couple. Get your ticket now at the front desk of Love Affair. Let's give thanks to the Most High, for He alone is worthy of our praise. The National Gospel Music Awards, rewarding excellence. Hallelujah! All praise to the Most High. The third edition of the National Gospel Music Awards is here. The praise edition. Come as believers, let's give thanks to the Almighty for a new year as we celebrate artists who deserve to be honored on the night. The night will be electrified with performances from legendary gospel duo Tego Sisters, multiple award-winning Obapa Christie, Prophet Abiam Danso, all the way from the UK, Reverend Graceman, and many more. Rate is 20 cities in advance, 30 cities out the gate. Venue, Bantama Pentecost, the 18 Nete Temple. Date, 15 February 2020. Time is 6 p.m. Get your tickets at the Poku Trading Supermarket, Abebio Express, Dodge Fashion, Kumasi Mall. For tickets reservations, call 0242-828058. This event is brought to you by Global Expert Recovery Limited. Come and let's give thanks to the Most High, for here